Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 21. I'm really proud of myself. I've only had to double up on one day for Vlogmas so far, and we are almost at the end. That is insane. But since yesterday I did my favorite books of 2025, today I thought we could do my worst books of 2025. These books, I actually gave all of them 2 stars. There are 6 books to talk about, and yeah, so if I talk about a book that you like, please do not feel offended. This is just my personal opinion, and this is all in good fun. But yes, let us just jump right in. First, I have Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. Let me scooch up actually. First, I have Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. This one, I think the writing is really what did it for me. It just had so many like quirky moments with our main character. We have our main character who I can't even remember her real name, but at the beginning of the story, she is at a Starbucks and she is about to be late to her new job, and she grabs a cup that is not hers and it has the name Amy, and they keep calling out for Amy to pick up her drink, and finally she's like, you know what, I'm gonna be late, I'm just gonna take this Amy's drink, she's not grabbing it, and I'm gonna go. And little does she know, she is about to run into her new boss, spill this drink all over him, and he is going to think that her name is Amy. And you're like, okay, that's kind of like a weird, boring setup, and you'd be right. But it is just her and her boss's relationship growing throughout the story. It just had such interesting writing. I wish I had like notes on this book that I could like highlight specific moments, but there was just so many like, oh my god kind of moments. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of moments where you're just like, ooh, like let's not say that. Like, not because it's like inappropriate to say it, but because it just is like cringe. I hate using that word, but this book really cringe. I'm sorry. Next, I have Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This follows our main character who is a young new mom, and she believes that she is turning into a dog at night, and she is slowly transforming into this dog. Is it a metaphor? Is it magical realism? You get to decide and kind of read through that. But this book, a lot of my friends who are moms have rated this highly. So take my review with a grain of salt, because I am not a mother. But this book, I can see where people enjoy it. I just think it was entirely too long, and it kept hitting these same points over and over and over again. Like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just way too much for me. But it is just the same points of like, being a mom is hard, and being a mom can be really depressing, and being a mom can be infuriating, and like these are all valid points. I want to make sure that I come across that I'm saying like, I understand that there is a lot of emotions in being a mom to a degree, because I'm not a mom, you know. And it just fell flat for me in the fact that it kept hitting the same points over and over, and it was just so miserable. Like, it just was a very hard book to read, so that's why I gave it 2 stars. Next, we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. This one, I just have to say, it was boring. Like, I am somebody who rarely, like 1 in a million, zones out on audiobooks. But this book, I had it at 3 times speed, and there was times where I would miss like 10 minutes because I was just so bored with it. This follows our main character as she has taken over either like a family friend or her aunt. I can't remember the relationship, but she's taken over her Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And it's got the cute fall vibes. You know, there's a fall festival, there's flannels, there's firewood, campfires, but it just was not... It just fell so flat for me. This one, I feel just there wasn't enough to make a story out of it. And we also had our male main character, the love interest in this story. He was done wrong by his ex-girlfriend, and every time we are in his head, that is all he can think about. Is like, he just keeps bringing it up over and over and over again, and it just was so annoying. Like, I'm like, okay, I get it, you were wronged, I get it that it caused you some trauma, but oh my gosh, like, can we let this rest? So that was kind of hard for me too, and that took down a few stars as well. Next I have This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. This is a bunch of true crimer people online trying to solve a true crime case. They're all buddies online, and they become friends through a true crime forum, and they decide that they're going to solve real life cases and get involved with the police and everything like that. And this is a real thing that happens. People do insert themselves into what's it called, investigations in real life because they think that they can solve these crimes, which I'm not saying it's not true, because there has been many cases where people online have solved crimes that have either been cold cases or just crimes that have been kind of pushed to the side for whatever reason. So sometimes I do think it's important that people can get a hold of these things, but I do think there's also times where we need to let investigators investigate and not be calling and driving by people's houses. And that was in this book, and I saw the plot twist from this book, which is really what gave it its rating. I saw the big twist, everything, literally, I kid you not, like 5% into the book, which made this so lame to me. The plot twist itself isn't lame, but the fact is that the writing was not done well enough that it was a surprising twist, which I really just am not a fan of. Next, I have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This was also, like I said, all of these are 2 stars, but this one I thought the setup was interesting. I think the execution is where this one lacked. This follows our main character as he goes to a airport bar. A woman sits next to him and is like, "Tell me your troubles," and he's like, "My wife is really getting on my nerves. I wish I could just kill her." And the lady's like, "Let's do it." And that's where the story starts. Is the guy's like, is this lady being for real right now? Because she's kind of hot and I kind of want to do this. And also, am I crazy? Like, why would I kill my wife? And yeah, so I thought it was an interesting enough premise to start out with. But this book just went like, poop. Because it just, sorry, my cat is scratching her nails. But it just failed so hard. And I've heard such great things about this book. So when I finally read it, I was like, huh? But yeah, this one, I think it went in circles, first of all, and then it also was just boring. And finally, we have The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich, something like that. I read this at the beginning of the year. I'll be honest, I don't remember too much about it. Basically, the premise that I do remember is that one day people wake up, everyone in the world wakes up, and outside of their front door or wherever they live is a string, and nobody knows what the string is at first. And then, this is not a spoiler, they realize that the string is their lifespan, and people start wanting to trade strings and maybe get longer strings, and people realize that it is not something that can be avoided, and everyone wants to know where the strings came from. Was it aliens? Was it God? Was it like who did this? And it sounds interesting enough, like it really is a cool concept, but it was just so incredibly dull. Like, there's a support group that they go to for short stringers, and there is like people finding out that some people like don't look at their string at all. Like, they put it in a box and they don't want to see it, and they refuse to look at it, so they don't even know how long their life is going to be. There's people who go do bad things because they know their string is short, or they know their string is long, so they do bad things because they know that they're going to live anyway if they do the thing. It's just like, it just was so boring. That is like the theme for these books this year, is that they were just boring. Which, you know, things could be worse. Let's be honest here. But yeah, so that is my list of 6 books that really let me down this year, my worst books of 2026. Please let me know a book that let you down this year. I would love to read about it. And yeah, I will see you for Vlogmas Day 22 tomorrow. Goodbye.